So you're on social media or you're at a live networking event and you're about to get your prospecting on, and all of a sudden you come across somebody that starts to pitch you their business and you are like, wait a minute, that's my job. So how do you go talking about your business when they start talking to you about their business, and how do you redirect that pitch? I'm here to share with you a strategy that I've used for many years, and it's worked almost every single time. So stay tuned. My name is Tanya Aliza, and I help entrepreneurs and network marketers create success faster while, most importantly, designing a lifestyle that you love. So if you're new here, consider subscribing because I put out a free training video and resource for you and your business each and every week. So number one, you have to respect their hustle. Just think about the type of person that they are if they're out there prospecting. This will be something that you want them to do if you're able to redirect the pitch in a proper way, and maybe one day enroll them as a teammate or enroll them as a customer. So number one, respect their hustle. Number two, review their approach. Is it professional or is it not professional? Now, most of the time I get prospected in non-professional ways, and I know that you guys are probably getting prospected in non-professional ways. And what's a professional way or what's a not professional way or a professional way? It really depends on how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel icky, or they're just going in for the kill and they're not taking time to build rapport or trust with you, then it's just kind of not a professional way. And so I always tend to look for how they're approaching me, because that will help me to define or create a reason for how I'm going to redirect this pitch. So if it's not professional, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compliment them for thinking of me and thinking that I would be a great prospect or a great customer or candidate for whatever it is that they're sharing with me. And then I'm just going to ask a question, and I'm going to say, hey, thanks for thinking of me. I'm truly honored. That's really cool of you. By the way, and then I'm going to ask them where they learned their prospecting approach, or either on Facebook message, I'm going to say, where did you learn your Facebook messaging approach? Or if I'm at a live networking event, I'm going to ask them where they got training on their prospecting approach. Now I'm going to dive in, but it's really important for you to understand that whoever asks the questions in conversation, whether on instant messaging or at a live networking event, whoever asks the questions is in control. So you always want to end every single piece of conversation with a question. And so with the last, not professional, if I sense somebody is prospecting me and they're not being professional, I'm going to ask them that question. By the way, where did you learn this prospecting approach, right? Who's training you? Where are you getting your information? That is a question. I'm going to share with you some more questions, but with every episode of Tanya Aliza TV, I like to equip you with a free downloadable resource that you can use in your business. And since today we're talking about how to redirect the pitch, and I'm going to be sharing with you a bunch of questions and processes, you may not remember this video. And so I put together a guide for you of scripts of these questions and of this process. And you can download the guide, and it's called How to Redirect the Pitch, so someone listens to you about your business or your products. Now, if you'd like this process kind of laid out and you'd like these questions laid out in a nice guide that you can print out and you can put it on your desk with you while you're making your calls or while you're doing your instant messaging on Facebook, you can pick that up absolutely free over on my blog at tanyaaliza.com/82 download, the number 82 download. That link will take you over to the blog, and then on the blog you'll see this video if you're not already there, but right underneath this video there'll be a big yellow button, and if you click the button you can request free access to that guide where it'll help you kind of put this video on paper, and it'll help you with the questions and the processes that I use and that I'm going to talk a lot about in this video on how to redirect the pitch. It's going to dive a little bit deeper as well beyond this video on how I personally redirect the pitch and how I have them asking me for more information about my product, service, or business. So if you want that freebie that goes with this episode, make sure to pick it up on the blog. Now, when you pick up that guide, it's going to go over a lot of these questions, and you can download it and actually even keep it on your iPad, or you can print it out, whatever is easier for you. But a lot of the questions that I ask when I feel that somebody is prospecting me on social media or at a live event, I'm going to ask a lot of questions to lead them in the direction that I want them to go, okay? And I'll show you how I do this. And this is coming from a place of pure encouragement and help to their process, because I'm gonna say that probably 8 times out of 10, somebody is prospecting me incorrectly. And if I can guide them and lead them into a direction of getting better training or feeling like I'm a person that can really help them, you're going to have a better kind of response when you go into asking if they're open. So in the guide, you're going to ask questions in that redirection conversation with them. You're going to ask them, after you ask them, okay, where have you learned these strategies? You're going to ask them questions like, how have your results been up until this point with that training or with this process? And sometimes they're going to tell you the truth and sometimes they're not, but you're just asking questions and you're trying to gauge where it is that they're at. I always ask them, what business training have they invested in? So I'll say, well, what business training have you invested in? And where are you learning this? You know, so people are looking for more training and help. And if you can be that person, and you don't know if you have the opportunity to be that person unless you ask these questions. Now, if I know that they're pitching me some network marketing opportunity, I'm going to say, how is your upline teaching you to generate new leads and prospects and prospect properly? How are they helping you to do that? And that's one of my favorite questions, because if they're honest in the conversation, a lot of the time they tell me, well, Tanya, you know, they're not really helping me with a lot of these things. And, you know, everybody wants that help. Now, through conversation, if you sense that they are struggling a little bit in their approach or in their business, now, if they're prospecting incorrectly, they're not getting results. And so if you can help them to make a little tweak and be that guide to them, they're going to look up to you as a, you know, respected leader or person, and they're more amped to listen to you when you ask them if they're open. So if I sense that they're a little bit dissatisfied, okay, what I'm going to say to them from there is, I may build curiosity, and I may build some relatability with them by sharing a story. Whereas sometimes I say, you know what, when I first got started in network marketing, my upline didn't teach me a lot of prospecting on social media or leveraging my business or automating a lot of my business. So I went out there and I sought out training to help me do that. And I've been able to do that now over the years. And I can totally relate to you if your upline hasn't helped you with some of those things. Mine didn't either, but here's what I was able to find. So I'll share a little bit of a story so that they can relate, and then also just let them know that it's okay, but also plant the seed that I'm a person of value, because I do know how to do some of the things that maybe they're searching or wanting to know. So now they're looking at me as a person of value or resourceful. They're looking at me as a resource for maybe helping them with either their current strategy, or I can ask them if they're open to partnering with me. And the goal here is to be really helpful and to position yourself as a guide, right? You don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to point or connect people. So if you're one of these people watching this video right now going, Tanya, I don't really have much value to offer yet. I don't really know what value I have. Well, you have value because you're investing right now by watching this video into training on how to get better at doing your business. Okay. So you can, make note of the little resources that you can point people to. And even if it's not your information, you are the one that gave that information. So therefore your prospects and people are going to see you as the guide and the person that can help them with resources. Okay. And and you have to be resourceful enough to be able to do that with your people. And they got to view you as a guide to see if they would even be open, or possibly be open to taking a look at what you offer. So if I get to a point where I'm asking a couple of these questions, and really it goes back and forth for just a short little while, I ask a few questions. If I sense that I really like the person, whether they're dissatisfied or not dissatisfied, if I really like the person and I know and I can feel that I can truly help them, I'll use what I like to call my shot in the dark method. And what I'll say is, hey, look, this is a complete shot in the dark. We've been going back and forth here. We've been talking a little bit. I've been learning a little bit about you and your training and what you're doing in your business. I really, really think you're cool. And then I would insert a genuine compliment. And then what I would say is, listen, I know that we've got a lot of this training that maybe you said that you're missing or you're looking for. I know we've got a lot of this training that we have available inside of what we're doing. We're doing some pretty exciting things with our company. Our products are second to none. This is a complete shot in the dark, but because I think you're super cool and we connected here, I don't know if you keep your options open outside of what you're currently doing right now, but if there was ever an opportunity for us to maybe connect and work a little bit closer together, would you at all have your options open if that opportunity presented itself? And you're asking them then if they're open, right? And that's my shot in the dark method. I'm really cool. I'm like, hey, it would be just really cool if we could work together. I don't know if your options are open at the moment, but I would be silly if I didn't ask because I think you're super cool. And then I would insert a genuine compliment. So to redirect the pitch, the way to do that is to position yourself as the guide, a person of resources for these people, right? For these people that are, coming to you. Now, if you come across somebody who's completely like crushing it and they're doing really good in their business and they're super happy, and somebody comes to me like that, no big deal. I'm just gonna let them go on their merry way. I might share with them a resource or two that's really helped me. I'll be like, hey, just thought I'd share this little resource with you that I found as well. It's helped me do this X, Y, and Z. It might help you too. I just always like to connect cool people with cool resources. Let's make sure to stay connected. And if you find somebody on social media that is super cool and super rad, be genuinely awesome to them and stay connected, right? Like their posts on Facebook or give them a quick text message, every other week or whatever. Stay connected with them because you never know what can happen in the future, right? Something might happen in their business, and if you are that cool, resourceful guide and leader that they kind of look up to or person that they just really jived with, they'll come back to you and say, hey, by the way, remember when you asked me if I was open? Well, at that time I really wasn't, but I'm open now. And I've had that happen to me time and time and time again, where it just wasn't the right time for somebody, but because I was super cool to them and very resourceful as much as I can be, they came back into my world and said, Tanya, I'm ready to go. Let's talk business. So hopefully you got a lot of value out of today's episode at Tanya Aliza TV. Make sure if you want this process kind of lined up for you and with the questions that I asked to redirect the pitch, you can pick up the free resource that we put together with this episode called How to Redirect the Pitch When Somebody Tries to Prospect You. And you can use this, somebody tries to prospect you on social media or even at a live networking event. It can be used for either or. If you'd like to pick that up, you can get it absolutely free over on my blog at TanyaAliza.com/82 download, the number 82 download. We'll leave a link above or below this video in the description box, wherever you're watching this video. It'll take you to the blog. On the blog, there'll be a big yellow button. Click the yellow button to get the resource, and it's yours absolutely free. If you love it, share it with your team, and let me know how it has helped you in redirecting the pitches that are coming your way into your world. Question of the week: have you been prospected in a weird way that's made you feel kind of icky or weird? If you have, what did you do about it? And if you have, let us know in the comment section below. How did it make you feel? And what did you do about it? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your experience about getting pitched in an icky, weird way. Sometimes these are a little bit funny and we can kind of have a little chuckle together, right? Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode of Tanya Aliza TV. If it helped you, make sure to comment, like, or share. Share this with your team if you think it will help them via one of the social media share links around this video that you see. And I will see you on the next episode of Tanya Aliza TV.